Hello students of Standard 10. DAV Model Public School welcomes you all in e-learning classes. This is Nitin Pushpatode, your social science teacher. Today's topic is resources and development. Students, first of all, we will study about types of resources. So let's start our today's online session. Students, types of resources. Listen, nature has provided to us a large varieties of rocks, soils, minerals, vegetation, animals, etc. We use these gifts of nature to fulfill our day-to-day needs. We need air to breathe, water to drink, and food to eat. We get all these things from the earth. Hence, all the things on earth which are necessary for our existence on this planet are known as resources. Students, everything in our environment that can be used to satisfy our needs, which is economically or technologically accessible and culturally acceptable, can be termed as resources. Students, human beings themselves are essential components of resources. With the help of technology and institutions, they transform materials available in the nature into economically viable resources. Okay, students, on the basis of different criteria, resources are classified in different categories. First, on the basis of origin. Students, on the basis of origin, resources are classified into two types. First, biotic resources, and second, abiotic resources. First, biotic resources. Students, what do you mean by the biotic resources? Listen, resources which are obtained from biosphere, they are called biotic resources. Students, all living resources, listen, all living resources are called biotic resources. Students, in the picture you are observing some living things: plants, animals, bacteria, fungus. These are the biotic birds, animals, fish, forest, etc. These are also biotic resources. The biotic resources provide a variety of useful products. They have the capacity to reproduce and regenerate. All biotic resources are renewable, but some take a long period of time to be renewed. For example, the forest. Students, so these are the biotic resources. Second type, abiotic resources. Students, what do you mean by the abiotic resources? Listen, all non-living resources are known as abiotic resources. That means these resources are composed of non-living things. For example, soil, rocks, metals, winds, land, water, minerals, etc. Students, the abiotic resources are not renewable except water. These resources are in a great demand for the development of various industries and agriculture. So this is the most important resource for us. Okay, students, on the basis of renewability or exhaustibility, resources are classified into again two categories. First, renewable resources, and second, non-renewable resources. Okay, first, renewable resources. Students, what do you mean by the renewable resources? Listen, renewable resources are also known as inexhaustible resources. Resources which can be renewed either naturally or by human efforts are known as renewable resources. For example, solar energy, air, and water. Some of the renewable resources are always available and don't get completely emptied by human activities. For example, solar and wind energy. Students, it can be further subdivided into two forms. First, flow or continuous resources. For example, running water, solar radiation, wind and tides. These are the examples of flow or continuous resources. Another, biological resources. For these resources are formed by the biologically process. It is furtherly again divided into two types: natural vegetation and wildlife. So students, these are the renewable resources. It has two types, flow or continuous resources and biological resources. Second type, non-renewable resources. Students, what do you mean by the non-renewable resources? Listen, resources which take millions of years to form or renew are known as non-renewable resources. They are also known as exhaustible resources as they cannot be renewed. Energy resources such as coal, petroleum, natural gas, and other minerals are the examples of non-renewable resources. This is a concern about their overexploitation. Students, they are available in limited amount on the earth's surface. So that's why we should have responsibility to use in a limited manner. Students, it has again two types. Recyclable, that means metals can be recycled by technologically and chemically, so they are recyclable. Second, non-recyclable, fossil fuels burn readily and cannot be recycled, so they are non-recyclable. So students, this is the another important resources, non-renewable, recyclable and non-recyclable. Students, on the basis of ownership, resources are classified into four types. Then, first, individual resources. Students, what do you mean by the individual resources? Listen, these resources are owned privately by individuals. For example, plantation, pasture farmland, water in well, pond, etc. So these are the examples of individual resources. That means students, these resources are owned by privately by individuals. Second type, community owned resources. Student, listen, these resources are accessible to all the members of the community. These are called the community owned resources. For example, grazing grounds, burial ground, ponds in village, and public parks. Students, in the given picture you are observing public park. So this is the community owned resources. Next type is national resources. Students, in the given picture you are seeing, this is the picture of railway. So this is the example of national resources. Listen students, these resources are under the control of nation or country. They are called the national resources. For example, canal, coal mines, then territorial sea, railways, etc. So these are the example of natural resources. Next students, international resources. What do you mean by the international resources? Listen, resources are owned and regulated by international institutions. They are called the international resources. For example, open sea used for peaceful navigation, then open sky for flight movement, etc. These are the example of international resources. The oceanic resources beyond 200 natural miles of the exclusive economic zone belong to open sea. That means students, seaport, yes, trade happened by seaways. So this is also does come under the international resources. Okay, next students, on the basis of the status of development, resources are classified into four types. First, potential resources. Students, what do you mean by the potential resources? Listen, available resources in a country which are not fully developed are known as potential resources. That means these resources are found in a region in abundance but have not developed properly. For example, solar and wind energy in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Again, vast tidal waves in a coast of India. So these are the example of potential resources. Second type students, developed resources. Listen, resources are surveyed and quantified for the utilization through available technology. These are called the developed resources. Yes, these resources are properly surveyed and quantified for the utilization through available technology. For example, coal, petroleum. Okay, availability of the technology and the level of accessibility decides are the quality of developed resources. Okay, so these are the two most important types of resources. Again, stock and reserves. These are the another important types of resources on the basis of status of development. Students, next point is resource planning. It is the most important point for utilization of resources. Okay, students, what do you mean by the resource planning? Listen, resource planning means identification and quantification of the available resource along with their development. Students, resource planning should match with the national development goals. In India, the resources are vast, but their development is insufficient or they are distributed unevenly. Students, how can we do the proper resource planning? Listen, students, identification and inventory of resources across the regions of the country. This involves surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation and measurement of the resources. Okay, second point, students, planning for resources development using appropriate skill, technology and institutional setup. Then third one, matching the resource development plans with overall national development plans. So students, these things are essential for the resource planning. With the help of these factors, with the help of these points, we can do the proper planning resources for the utilization in a limited and a proper way. Students, sustainable development. What do you mean by the sustainable development? Listen, sustainable development means development that takes place without damaging the environment. It meets the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generation. Therefore, resources should be utilized judiciously so that after of present requirements. They are also conserved for the future generations. Most of our resources are limited in their supply. Students, overuse of many valuable resources has led to the degradation quality of the resources, for example soil, land and water resources. So that's why students, it is essential that we use all renewable resources judiciously. Again, we should minimize the depletion or waste of natural resources. Again, we should conserve the varied species properly. Students, the concept of sustainable development was first formulated in June 1992 at the first United Nations Conference on Environment and Development held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Listen students, when it was held in June 1992, where at Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. So students, this is the most important thing for us, sustainable development. Students, last point, conservation of resources. Listen, students, conservation means sustainable and optimum utilization of resources. We must realize that nature and its resources are not merely ours, they are also belong to the future generation. Thus, it is necessary to use the resources more efficiently and reduce wastage. Students, development of technology, human skill and population control is essential for long-term sustainability of natural resources. Yes, we have to create sustainable community for the sustenance of life on the planet. Students, ecological balance will be disturbed. Yes, ecological balance will be disturbed. Then our earth is only the habitable planet. So spread awareness for saving earth from further deterioration. Students, follows the 5 R's. That means reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse and rethink. This is the 5 R's. Yes, reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse and rethink for saving nature, for saving the resources. Yes, use the resources according to the need and not according to the greed. So students, care for the nature, it will care for you. Yes students, this slogan you should remind. What? Care for nature, it will care for you. So students, this is the most important thing, conservation of resources. As a human being, we have a lot of responsibilities to save nature, to save resources, to save it for a future generation. Okay. Okay students, in such a way that today we learned about the classification of resources on the basis of different criteria. Students, on the basis of today's content, some assignment question I am giving you, you have to write the answers of these questions. Students, remaining part of this lesson we will learn in the next online session. Till then, thank you very much and have a nice day.